Okay. So now the another assumption under LSP, that is lifespan perspective, is development is influenced by historical conditions. Now what does it mean? See, as we are saying that development is a lifelong process, right? It continues throughout your lifespan. So when I say it is also influenced by certain historical conditions, for example, the experience of a 20-year-old who lived through the freedom struggle in India would be totally different from the experiences of 20-year-old of today, right? So historical conditions means as history is changing, as circumstances, situations, and society as well is changing, so environment is also changing. A 20-year-old boy or a girl before independence or at the time of independence must be facing some other kind of experiences, right? Whether it is related to their social life, whether it is related to their personal life, right? But now a 20-year-old child, a girl or a boy, is totally facing different kind of experiences. Why? Because the scenario has changed, the conditions have changed, the society has changed altogether. The expectations of the society, your peer group, your family members, everything, the way you dress up, the eating habits, your lifestyle, everything has changed because there is a quite good difference between the two, right? So historical conditions are also affecting your development. Fine. Next is development is the concern of a number of disciplines. We have talked about number of disciplines in chapter number 1. I hope you remember all. We have talked about a number of disciplines. Disciplines means various other subjects, various other schools like anthropology, sociology, various neurosciences are there. So all these subjects or all these disciplines are also trying to explain development from their point of view. As in our subject in psychology, we have described development, right? So in the same manner, in other disciplines, be it political science, be it economics, be it anthropology, everyone, every discipline, every subject is, explaining the development in their own way, from their point of view, from their perspective. Anthropologists की बात करेंगे, they will explain the human development in different context, right? Neuroscience की बात करते हैं, they will explain the development in the context of biological aspect, right? Neurology is there, so they will emphasize more upon it. As far as our subject is concerned, we always emphasize on the behavior, experiences, right? These kind of things. We always put stress on the behavior, on experiences of humans. So every discipline is explaining this particular development process in their own way. Fine. Now the last and the seventh one, yes, seventh assumption is an individual response and acts as context which include what was inherited, the physical environment, socio-historical and cultural context. See, now the last assumption is saying that development can be understood by keeping all these things together. What are the things? First of all, what all things you are inheriting? That is the biological aspect, the genes that you are carrying from your parents, right? It is also influencing the physical part of your development. The second part is what? The physical environment. Very important. Environment, including all the things, the kind of facilities you are getting, the kind of interaction you are having with your peer, with your teachers, right? Physical environment, the surroundings, the environment. The third one is various socio-cultural historical context. So in this, we have discussed this aspect in very much detail in chapter number 3, when we talk about enculturation, acculturation, socialization, right? So this is all about the socio-cultural aspect. All these things together are influencing the development of human. Fine. So this was all about the 7 assumptions under LSP put a tick mark on this because it's very important. Always remember the full form also, the short form also. Fine. So we have done with the assumptions. Now let us start with the next topic, that is factors influencing development. Page number 67. Factors influencing development. Now see, in this we're going to discuss about the things that are already known to you. We have talked about phenotype, we talked about genotype, right? All the things which we have already discussed, we're going to study with the help of some new example, right? So let us start factors influencing development. When I talk about genotype, I think you all remember the actual genetic material or a person's genetic heritage is known as genotype. That means the things you are carrying from your parents, from your ancestors, the genes that you are carrying. Again and again, the same thing. Genotype stands for genes. This is how you're going to remember. Okay? Genotype समझ में आ गया. What is phenotype? Pheno. Phenotype. Phenotype is the way an individual's genotype is expressed in observable and measurable characteristics, right? Suppose let's take phenotype में क्या हो सकता है, physical traits हो सकती हैं, your height, your weight, eye and skin color, and many of your psychological characteristics also. That is including what your intelligence, your creativity, right? Your personality as a whole. So these are observable. We can see someone's height. We can assume someone's weight. We can see someone's skin color, complexion, right? We can also assume or we can also infer someone's intelligence from their behavior. है ना, कोई behave किसी तरह से करता है particular manner में, तो we also start inferring that how much he is intelligent. Someone behave in a very kiddish manner, in a very immature manner, तो हम बोलते हैं ना कि दिमाग बहुत कम है, right? या दिमाग अपना यूज नहीं करता. ये जो जनरल टर्म्स हम अपने डेली लाइफ में यूज करते हैं, these are what we are making inferences. How come? Out of their performances. How do they are behaving? Someone is very indisciplined, तो हम बोलते हैं कि he is not disciplined, right? He is not mature enough to behave properly in social places. So this is what we are assuming. We are inferring their psychological characteristics by just observing or inferring or measuring also. Some traits out of these are measurable also. If I say intelligence is measurable, am I right? Yes, am I right? Yes, I am right. How come? We can measure someone's IQ. As I told you in the beginning, we have all kind of tests to measure all kind of psychological attributes. What are those attributes? These are aptitude, these are your attitude, these are your values, these are your creativity, your personality, your IQ. So all these things can be observed also and can be measured also. Now do not ask this question. Maybe this question arises in your mind, ma'am, how can we see someone's intelligence? We cannot see someone's intelligence as it is an abstract term. But what I said, we can infer, we can take out, someone's intelligence by just looking at their behavior, by just looking at their performance, right? So infer मतलब हम उनकी performance के through उनका intelligence, उनका aptitude, उनका values का एक हम थोड़ा सा अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं, right? So this is all about genotype and phenotype. Now what is important under this? See, if a question comes in your exam of 6 marks that describe the factors influencing development, right? Or elaborate with the help of example. You will always start with the specific terms, with the definitions, obviously. But what is very much important under this, that as from our subject point of view, we will always stress upon the environmental influences as compared to biological influences, right? So what are the environmental influences and how does the environment affect development? This is a very general, very basic question. Okay? Now just understand this with the help of this example. Imagine a child with genotype that predisposes her or him to be introverted. in an environment that promotes social interaction and extroversion. The influence of such an environment may make the child a little extroverted. Understood something? See, suppose I say a person who is very introvert. Introvert means a person is quite reserved, quite shy, does not interact easily with others, does not get mixed up, does not answer or respond in classes, right? So a child who is introverted because he has carried this thing through his genes. Maybe his parents are also introverted, other family members are also introverted. So he has just taken this as a genotype, two genes, right? Now, if uh, his parents only provide a very good environment to that child with the help of his teachers, with the help of his friends, with the help of his other socialization agents, the environment provided to that child consists of lot of opportunities that motivate that child to become extrovert. How come? Maybe his parents encourage and motivate him to take part in different kind of activities, right? His teachers always encourage and motivates him to take part in school activities. His friends always cheer him up, always motivate, right? Always praises him whenever he answered in the class. Through these kind of things, maybe his parents, make him join some personality classes. So through those classes, his personality is developing, his communication skills are enhancing, and he is becoming little more extrovert. I will not say fully extrovert. See, it's very difficult to change someone from completely introvert child to extrovert all of a sudden. But yes, due to environmental influences, due to circumstances, due to various socialization agents, a child could be converted from one form to another. So that child could become little more extroverted, right? He start responding, he start gaining confidence, and he is now not that reserved and shy that he used to be earlier. Fine. Now, what is next? Let us take another example. An individual with short height genes, even if she or he is in a very good nutritional environment, will never be able to be taller than average. This shows that genes set the limit, and within that limit, the environment influences development. See, when I say this line, please first of all underline this line, because this line is itself telling you everything. On page number 67, second column, second paragraph, last 2-3 lines. Genes set the limit, and within that limit, the environment influences development. What does this mean? The second example I just read. See, if someone is short in height because of his inherited genes, his parents or her parents are also short in height, and the child is also. In spite of providing all kind of nutritional diet, all kind of exercise, a very minor or minute change could be, brought up in his height, but not to that extent. You cannot imagine that a 5 foot child all of a sudden, become 5'9" or 5'8". From 5 feet, okay, 5 से ले से 5 से 2 इंच आप बढ़ा सकते हो, लेकिन you cannot expect to be, of a greater height, because here genes are playing a very important role. So what does this mean when I say genes set the limit? Just imagine there is an outline, there is a frame, right? There is a square shaped frame. So I am saying genes are what? The outline of that frame. And under that frame, within that frame, not under, within that frame, the environment is influencing your development. You cannot expect to cross that frame, because here genes are playing an important role. अगर किसी का below average IQ है, तो with lots of good opportunities, with lots of good facilities in the environment, you can increase to a certain level. But you cannot imagine to crack, that child to crack some competitive exam all of a sudden, or during a long span of time even. So genes are setting a limit. It is providing you an outline or a frame-like situation, and within that frame, within that outline, within that boundary, you can develop. आप इतने एक डॉट से इतना डेवलप हो सकते हो, इससे ज्यादा डेवलप हो सकते हो, लेकिन जो फ्रेम है उसके अंदर you cannot just cross the frame, right? So genes are setting the limit, and within that limit, the environment influencing your development. Fine. So these two examples explain you everything, the importance of genes also, and the importance of the environment also. That is genotype and phenotype. Fine. Now what else? Now other important things, what you have to write under this heading, there are certain researches, certain experiments done by a very famous psychologist, Sandra Scar. What is the name of the psychologist? Sandra Scar, in 1992. If you don't remember the year, that is fine. That is not required in our subject, but please remember the name of the psychologist. It really helps you in getting good marks, right? So Sandra Scar was a psychologist who have done a lot of researches and experiments. Let us read one of them. Sandra Scar believes that the environment parents provide for their children depends to some extent on their own genetic predisposition. Just read it once again on your own. Try to understand it. Sandra Scar believes that the environment parents are providing to their children, right? It is depending to some extent on their own genetic predisposition. What does this mean? See, suppose parents are intelligent, their IQ level is quite high, and they are good readers, right? Many people you have seen in your house also, that maybe your parents, maybe grandparents love reading. You must be having a short library even in your house. You have lots of books, and some people always prefer to read, right? Reading habit is going to that much extent that some people avoid interacting with others, and they just sit with their book and start reading it. So there is a kind of you can say lot of interest is there in reading. So if someone's parents are having good IQ and they are good readers, so what will they do? They will also provide their children with lots of books. They will always encourage them. They themselves are not doing, they themselves are not watching the television, right? So they are not allowing their children also. And just by observing their parents, the children are automatically learning the habit of reading, right? When they are seeing that our parents are reading after having dinner at night or during afternoon, so they also just take some book, any book of their interest, and they start reading. So they are not watching television. So this is how we can teach our children also, because we have discussed this thing that children always imitate, children always copy their elders, their other socialization agents, their peer group, their teachers, right? So Sandra Scar is saying that if parents are having good IQ, so they are also providing an environment which is depending upon their own genetic predisposition. As we have just discussed this example. Now, another what is important in this, they are the psychologist is saying that beside these, children themselves also choose certain environment. Suppose certain children are having good IQ, right? They have carried this through genes from their parents. So they themselves will create such an environment. They always prefer reading as compared to playing. As you all have noticed in your class also, that some children, whenever you are given a free period to go into the playground, majority of the children just start screaming. They become so happy that we're going to play in playground. But out of 50 or 55 students, there are 3 to 4 students who always carry their novel, who carry their any other book or even book from their syllabus to the playground. They sit on the stair and they start reading it. So these are the children who themselves are creating such environment or situations which is favoring their hobby, which is favoring their behavior, right? So instead of talking, or instead of gossiping, or instead of playing anything, they just prefer reading, right? During traveling also, whenever they are going to school through any private convenience, or or a school convenience, they always open the book. So this is just an example to explain you that how the parents are also providing you certain environment as it is based upon their genetic predisposition, and how come children also creating some environment which is favoring their genetic predispositions, right? So these are certain things which you're going to explain whenever a 6-mark question is there, or whenever a 4-mark question even is there. You will going to explain one of the study done by the psychologist Sandra, and you'll also going to explain the terms phenotype and genotype. And what is the other important thing, that how do environment influences development. Where we talked about two examples, one about the height and one about the introvert and extrovert, right? So these are certain things. This is how you're going to explain through your answer. See what happens generally in our subject, it happens some question is there, so you just start writing in a very general language. You are not giving any key elements, you are not highlighting any key features, you are not giving any name of psychologist, neither you are giving the name nor you are writing the researches and experiment. Very general you are writing the answer. So this will not help you score good marks. You have to be precise, you have to learn, you have to remember certain key elements, and based upon those you just start writing your answer. Long type answer जब होते हैं उसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Yes ma'am, please stop with the recording.